Yo guys, welcome back to Horology Biology. So let me just clear off these things. Got my stupid t-shirt on as well. Yeah. So today we will rebuild that Enicar that we had in, when was that now? Can't even remember now. What was it, a week ago? Time flies so fast. But I'll tell you something as well. It's not that hot today, which I'm super appreciated for, so I'm not super sweaty and not super moist. No. So that's really good. So hopefully we're not going to have as many teething problems as like last time. Basically being like trying to check out my encoding settings and everything. So I think I really took the piss last time, which was really not good. So yeah, hey Thomas, glad that you're here. Turbo, of course. Man, wouldn't be the same without you, Turbo. Hey, Alex. What's this? Tom, looking forward to this. Didn't manage to be here for the first live stream. Didn't manage to be here for the first live stream. What's wrong with you, bro? This should be the priority number one. Kids, not a priority. HB channel, major priority. Who else do we have? No, I like that. No moist, yeah, super fresh, super nice, no swampiness. Man, I'm super tired though, seriously. I went to the gym this morning because I'm trying to get fit because I feel crappy all the time. Oh man, and I have this personal trainer guy that I give money to, but I think he should give money to me because he messes me up, man. It's not fresh. I don't like him. He's mean, seriously mean. And he keeps stressing me out. He's going, man, we're going to get you like the Rock, beast mode. And I'm like, dude, I'm like 170 centimeters. I'm not going to be like the Rock. I'm going to be more like the Pebble. Do you know what I mean? Not fresh. Just call me the Pebble. All right, so shall we get on with this? Hey, JC, glad that you're here. Oh, yeah, check it out. Here you go. This is the 2254. And you know what? I really like this. And the reason I really like this is because if you see it from the side, it's super slim, super skinny, and super fresh. It is very nice. So, let me put on my little black condoms, and then we can crack on. Because I got the supermarket guy coming later on. He's going to bring me my food, you know, because I'm trying to get healthy and everything, so I actually have my food come to me. No, but seriously though, I mean, for the price that it costs to have it delivered, of course I'm going to spend €5 for some little person to go and walk around the shelves and pick up all the stuff that I order and bring it to my doorstep. Definitely, man. Be a fool not to. Alright, let me mess around with these cameras. Let me change everything. Let me sort it all out. I think we're good. Everything is clean. Everything is looking good. But before I begin, let me show you this, guys. Let me just switch cameras to this one. Wait. No, I've got a better one. This one. Yeah. So, I was right that the little crystal ring, I don't know if you can see this. Look at the amount of glue! Glue! So basically this crystal is actually a no-no because it's just too small. It spins, so that's what they did. They actually glued it. See, if I can actually take this off. Let me move this movement out of the way. And then you'll see what I mean. I didn't do it because I wanted you guys to see it. So this is actually a ring of glue. It's not fresh. Let's get rid of that. And then this is the old crystal silver ring, which also is pointless now. So it will need a new crystal because like I said, that other one is basically, yeah, it's too small. It's too small for the case. That's why they glued it in with an obscene quantity of glue. Not fresh. And here she is, looking super nice, all clean and correct, ready to go. I got all the parts laid out. Case is all looking nice and clean. I even cleaned up the hands a little bit, made sure that they look nice. Otherwise, if I did all of this on camera, it would like basically take forever. Hey, so what's going on? Tom says, my kids are pretty close to your age. Was busy working on a grandfather long clock when it showed. Okay. Maybe I missed something there. I'm not sure what it said before. I'm not too sure what he means. What is Thomas saying? I just bought on eBay an Enicar 1665501. It's a non-run for repair and will need it repaired. Well, yeah, bro, if it's not running, you're gonna need it repaired. But let me ask you, is it a Mumbai special? Is it an Enicar Mumbai special, or is it like, where's it from? That's what I'm curious about. Where's it from? Let's go. I'm not gonna bother doing the switch thing. I will manually switch it because I'm a little bit too scared, because I don't want this stream to just drop out, because that would suck. So let's crack on with this, because I could just chat in this chat room all day, and that's probably not going to be why you guys are here anyway. So here we are. We have the movement plate. Everything's been checked. The only thing that I didn't do, which I will do on camera, because I thought it would be cool that we do it together, so to speak. I do need to adjust the size of that hole on the main plate. On the barrel bridge, because it's just too large for the arbor, so it needs adjusting to make it a little bit tighter. So we can do that. So first, what I do is, which you've probably seen in my videos before anyway, I will oil the capstones on the balance, because I do it now and then I basically put it back and then I just whip off the balance and then just put it to one side. So it's out of the way and then it's basically done. So without further ado, let's crack on. So I will just nip the little Inca block up with a pair of tweezers and then lift it up. And I really lift it up carefully, because I've had a habit of doing this a few times where the little spring has actually come out of the back, and it really is a pain in the ass to get it back in if it just slides out of the back. Best way to get this out is just with like a little piece of radical. Don't bother even with tweezers, just nip it out. And this is a really good sign, and also probably showing how dry this is. This rarely ever happens, that you will actually take off the top stone out of it. You see, it's still in there, the rest of it. So that's really good. So it's not gunked up, obviously. Even when it's been in the wash, it will still be stuck to the other piece. So I've still actually got it stuck to the top of this piece of radical. So here's the bottom piece. I will just leave that to one side. Let me switch the cameras. And then this piece, the capstone, I just want to get this off of this radical, because now it's stuck on it, which is kind of not fresh. Only in a live situation, of course. And I don't want this to fly away on me, because that also would not be fresh. So what I want to do is I want to basically give this some fix-a-drop treatment. See, it nearly got away from me there, man. See what I mean? Damn it, I have a little piece of radical stuck on this, which is super annoying. Let me see if I can get that off. Again, super difficult for you guys, for doing this for you guys, because obviously I'm not over this properly. Okay, there we go. So I'm using this stuff here, which is Fix-a-Drop, and it is ridiculously expensive. Seriously, you spend something like around 30 bucks for 2 milliliters of this, milliliters. I mean, it lasts a long time, obviously, but it's like, it's mad expensive, but it's such a cool solution. So basically, when I use it, which I'm not going to just do yet, I just want to get a piece of paper. And the reason I get a bit of piece of paper is what I was shown is the best way is if you just use with your finger, just get the stone and then just rub it on some paper. And that's going to remove any of the old oil. And I just do it a few times. I mean, mathematically, I'm going to get it on the inside once or at least twice when I'm dropping it back down. So just a few rubs, because the paper's a little tiny bit abrasive, you know what I mean? So it's getting all that dry oil off. Once that's done, Fix-a-drop time, and I put it also into this special little glass bottle. It has like a little mesh beaker inside, so you can put parts in. I also put pallets in here as well. And then I basically will just pop that in and then give it a quick rinse. And what this is doing, it's basically just going to apply like a real microfilm onto it, so that when I put the oil drop on, it doesn't mean that the oil is going to run everywhere. It's going to keep the oil in one place, which is obviously what you want, because it's such a small area that you're going to be putting oil onto anyway. So once you've done that, try and locate it, and here it is hiding right at the top. Come on, come to Pappy. Come to Pappy. Oh, come on. Oh, so small. It's easy when it's on the mesh. In fact, let me give that a soak back down. It's probably going back in now. Yeah, there we go. And then I just pop that down. And then I have another rule that I do, because I swear every time I do this, it goes wrong. So I get this and I put it on the side, just here next to me. Because if I put it back where it lives, I guarantee you that I will do this. I will put the oil on and it will stick to the tweezer or something, and I'll have to redo it. But I find that, I don't know if it's some kind of weird like Sod's Law jinx thing or something, but if I basically just leave the bottle just here, I have a better shot at just doing it in one go, and it just makes life a lot easier. So with this as well, the light goes out of the way, because so it might get a little bit darker for you guys, and the reason being is I will change the camera back so that you get a side view of me like this, so it's easier. The reason being is that I want to use the loop for this, and I want to get up close because it is such a small little piece. It's important that you can actually see exactly what you're doing, and of course also that you're oiling the right side, because it would kind of suck if you weren't. So a little bit of 90-10, and you just basically want to do between 50 to 80% on top. There we go. And the reason I wasn't talking then, as daft as it sounds, is because I hold my breath. I know it's a bit weird, it's like a habit, but I will actually hold my breath while I'm putting the oil on, because I just want every part of me to keep still, because it's such a tight little area. So once you've done that, then you need to basically put the stone back together. And the best way, and again it's just trial and error with this, is to get it basically just bang above it, close as possible, and just drop it on straight down. Like so. And then it will basically, because of the oil, it will stick together, and then you have it in one go. Super nice, super fresh. Yeah. And then I'm going to just pop it back on to the balance. Now that I've just dropped it, here we go. And the other reason as well that I prefer to do it like this, I've seen some people that do this at the end while the balance is in and it's moving. And I don't understand why they do that, because I've tried that before, and I think that you actually make work harder for yourself, because the balance stuff is, the balance is moving. So, and once you take it off, you're creating a bigger hole for the balance stuff. And then you've got to try and get this on top of the stuff, because it's obviously living there. So I don't understand why they do it like that. I find it so much better just to do this while the watch is actually not running at all. So just closing the Inca block with the two little levers, and then I just give it a little once over with some Rodico, and there we have it. So that is one done. One done. One more to go. Alright, what's everybody chatting about? Game Joy Nick. Oh yeah, he's talking about his sticker. Yeah, it's on the way, man. But you have to rely on the local post. Local post sucks here. They can deal with things internally, but anything that's basically dealing with stuff externally, forget it, man. It's an absolute nightmare. You'll get it in 2023. No, it won't be that long. Relax. Whoops. So, I don't know if you guys saw, but I also put out that message for that AMA. So if people have got any questions that they want to ask, you can ask whatever you want. feel free to reply to that in the community section, because I want to do a video where there's enough, because at the minute there's not that many questions, so I'm not going to do it now. But if you do have any questions, feel free to ask. But there was one in there that did make me laugh though. My kid wants my Enicar, how do I tell him no? Man, I'm going to have some fun with that, believe. Alright, so I'm going to just check off the second one. Get this one out of the way as well. The second one I always find a little bit more tricky, because the what you call it, the Inca block spring, it's like it sits a little bit lower, so then I actually find it easier just to, once you've got it loose, just to lift it up with an oiler. I find it easier with an oiler than the tweezers. The ends of the tweezers are just too thick. And again, we have the same thing here where the top of the capstone has come off. It's separated from itself, which is another good sign. I mean, it's easier pulling it out in one go, but I'm not going to complain. Just put that to one side. And then again, same treatment, guys. A little bit of paper. Give it some rub love. A little bit of matte skin. There we go. And then give it the fixer drop. The most expensive liquid ever. Seriously, I think it's more expensive than gold. Yeah, you better be sending a picture as well. I want to see pictures of this on your car. Not on the fridge. Alright, so fixer drop is done. That looks really nice and clean. Little bit of 9010, which is the very fine oil. What's cool as well is if you can just angle it a little bit, you can reflect the stone in the light. So then you can actually see perfectly how much oil you're applying to this. And also with the fixer drop as well, it's really cool because you can actually go back and apply like a little bit more oil if you don't have enough, etc, etc. Because it holds it so well. Okay, that's on. Where have you gone? There you are. And then just flip the spring back over and then just push down the shock spring tabs, if I can do it. There you go. So that's cool, that's completely done. Super happy with that now. And now that that's done, I can obviously take the balance off and then actually start rebuilding this. So I basically will just flip it back over. And if I can get it on the movement holder. Man, you see, that's another thing. I've made a really bad mistake today. We're going to the gym this morning. Because my hands are still, I feel like my hands and my arms is a little bit shaky. Which is not fresh. Not fresh, not cool. Okay. Good. I use... What's wrong with you, man? Can't be using cooking oil. Okay. Right, let's get this balance up. So I'm hoping that this watch is going to run after this, because it is a really attractive little watch actually. I'd say late 50s, early 60s at a real push, if I'm honest, in my opinion. Okay, so take off the balance and just flip. Where are you? Just flip that over so it rests. I like to just make sure it goes in the hole in the jewel, and then I basically will just stick this aside with the screw until later. So this can go over here, and I'll just put a dust cover over that so it keeps it completely safe, completely out of the way. Walther finally got online. Yeah, 20 minutes late. Don't do it again. I'm such a prick. Don't do it again. Oh dear. Okay, just ignore me, man. I'm tired. Alright, let's read. You haven't missed much. All I've done is just do these two capstones. Alright, let's actually start rebuilding this. Come on, let's get serious now. Let's get serious. Okay, so as I'm going to start rebuilding this now, first thing what I do is I just use a little bit of 1300, and I just want to put that just a little bit in the center post. Also a little bit where the what you call it, the barrel will go, and I also put some where the setting lever screw will go as well. Just put a little bit around the edge of that. And then before I do anything else, I will actually first, and I really recommend doing this because you have to flip the movement over all the time, put the setting lever and the setting lever screw in first, because if you do it later, you potentially are going to have to well, you're going to have to turn the movement at an angle, and if you have other gears or wheels on or something and they're not actually screwed down or something like that, they're going to just fall out. That's not fresh. So I do this first, and I give it a couple of turns. I just want to let it feel that oil, and then in my hand I can then just turn it over, and I keep ideally I should do it this way. Get the setting lever, place it over the screw like so. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me flip it over to this camera. I put it over, like the setting lever over the screw, and then I put my finger on it just to hold it, and then with my other hand I'm basically just going to screw it from the other side. Man, my hands are shaky today, seriously guys, it's not cool. I think it's a bit too big, that screwdriver actually. Yeah, it's on. It's not on fully tight, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you're gonna have to loosen it off at some point anyway. So at least if it's on a little bit, then that's completely fine. Okay, so let's put the movement plate back on. So first, this wheel, are we in focus? Yes, we are. And this is held on with a little bridge with 2 screws. And there's only one way that it can go on, so it's not something that you can mess up. You get a clue anyway from the size of the dint where the screws will go. There you go. I'm just going to screw that down. Give it a quick test. We have movement. Okay, so I think probably at this point it's better than to actually, because the barrel, oh by the way, I've put the mainspring already back together. It's been clean oiled and I've already put it back together to make it easier. If I've put the arbor in the right way, which I think I have. There you go. So that's engaging nice. So if we check the bridge now, before we do anything else, we can pop this on. And see this obscene amount of play. I'm not even going to screw it down. Yeah, you see? It's weird, it doesn't seem as bad as it was. I mean, it's bad, don't get me wrong. It's still bad. Is there a way to manage screws? Yeah, I saw your comment, and yeah, there's numerous ways. What I do, well, with a lot of Enicars now, the more you work on them, the more you get used to which screw is for what, just by the shape of it. But the easiest way to do it is that when you're removing them, for example, say if you're removing this bridge, put the screws next to that part. Before cleaning, you could also take a photograph of the way you have everything laid out. The other option that you could also do is you could, instead of putting the screws in the cleaning machine, you could clean the screws manually and then put them back in the tray next to the appropriate part. With a chronograph, I always put the screws, that's different though, but with a chronograph like a Valjoux 72, I will put the screws back in. Once I've removed it, I've took the part out, I will put the screw back into the movement. And the main reason for it with a chronograph is because you have so many different types of screws. They're different shapes, sizes. Some are exactly the same, but they're a little bit longer than others, and you just don't want to mix that up. And I would mix it up 100%. So I was always told the best way is just to literally just put them back where you got them from, because then you're going to clean them at the same time anyway, because it's all going to go into the machine. So that's my answer to that. If anybody's got a better idea, let me know. I'm open, of course, completely open to suggestion. Alright, so we have got far too much play here, and we want to make this hole just a little bit smaller, and I've not prepared for this at all, so I need to find the right stake. So obviously what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to find you're going to need to use a staking set like so, the staking set, and you're going to need to find actually this piece can work because it's already centralized as well, but you're going to need to find a stake that's going to be a bit bigger than the hole. And you have two types of stakes. You have the round ones and you have the flat ones. You want to use the round one first so that it kind of pushes it down. Let me put this aside. Ah, shit, I'm taking this out and I can leave it in, actually, I'm being silly. Put the movement aside. Get the bridge. I just want to, basically I just want to remove this material, but only a little bit. You don't need to beat it. And my stakes are close, miles away from where my eye line is. So I'm trying to now squint to find one that's a bit appropriate. This is where I'm having maximum regret. I'm thinking I should have just done this off camera, it would have been easier. Then you guys would have moaned. You would have moaned to high heaven. Let me find this one. Let's go look. This could work. Because it feels like it's in. And you want the stake to go in the hole, so you want it a little bit bigger so that you still feel it go in, whereas this one is perfectly like that. And then you want to beat it, and you want to beat it as hard as humanly possible with the hammer, like really hard. No, I'm messing around. Just go at it really easy. It's brass, so it's really soft, and you don't want to hit it too hard. So just gentle. And then also what I do is I just turn it around a little bit, so you do it from different angles. And I'm really not hitting this hard. The other thing is, if you go too much and it's too tight, then you can also just broach the hole out to make the hole a bit bigger again. So it's not a big problem. The only problem that is with it, that's annoying, is it's trial and error, because you're not going to know unless, I mean, I'm not an expert, but you're not going to know until you put it back on if it's good enough, basically, or not. So you want to put it back on. Luckily with this one, it's a nice bridge, and it has those little like guide holes, so I don't need to screw it down, because it's on pretty firm. If I turn it like this, it's not going to fall off. So then I don't have to bother screwing it in, at least. And then again, with your tweezers or a screwdriver, you want to just test it. And I can tell you that I've done it too much, because it's too tight. You can, I don't know if you guys can, let's do it on this camera. So if I try to now just turn, see the spring is engaging. Look, you see it fly back? Because the arbor won't move, because it's too tight, basically. So I've hammered it too much. And that's what I mean. You saw, or you heard how lightly I was tapping on this. I wasn't going at it crazy, you know. But again, it's not the end of the world with this, because I've done it too much. But what I can do is you can use a brooch instead. You have like smoothing brooches and cutting brooches. They're not expensive. Where are you guys at? These things. So these are smoothing brooches to make things smooth, super fresh, super smooth. And these ones are for cutting, stabby stab. And yeah, it does what it says on the tin, so to speak. You stick it in the hole and you turn it. So it felt really tight, so basically I will use a cutting brooch. You find one obviously that's going to fit the hole where you can work it. And then you want to basically now take away just a little bit. And this brooch is too small, so I want to use a bigger one. HB hunts his own food. Yeah, Andrew Taylor Horology. I won't go that far. Oh man, I have supermarket guy coming later on. Be here between 8 and 10 with all my nice goodness. Okay, so I've just basically pushed it to the level where it doesn't want to go, and then I'm just turning it just ever so slightly, just really just a tiny little bit. Otherwise I'll be back to square one. And then when I've done that, I will also smooth it with the same size brooch, but this one is just, yeah, it's just tubular. And then that's just going to get rid of any shavings. Also just give it a dab with some Rodico. And I have a feeling that I probably didn't take off anything, but we will see. This is similar to like a cannon pinion. You want it tight but not too tight, and you don't want it too loose but you want it like a bit loose. See, now it's free. Where are you guys at? See, now it's free completely, and you see that the wheel is engaging as well, so it's completely free. And then I just want to check on top as well what the play's like. And if you can see it now, it's a little bit, but yeah, it's negligible, you know what I mean? I wouldn't say, I'm not overly worried about that. Compared to what it was, yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay. Question, do I need to take this off? Thinking about it. No, I can leave it on actually. But before I will take it off because I want to just put a little bit of oil. Let me clean up my mess. No, I think it's okay. Is it too little now? No. Well, the first time when I did it too much, because you could clearly see that the arbor went in the hole without damaging it. It was fine, but it was gripping it, so therefore it wouldn't move. To be honest, I thought the idea here would not be to remove metal, but just to move it with a smoothing broach. Yeah, I agree with you on that as well. Like I said, I am not an expert, never claimed to be, but I find that the amount that I took off was like, we're talking, it was nothing. I mean, you saw exactly the amount that it was, and then it was a case of that I would just smooth it afterwards. Because I think that I moved it far too much, even though I hit the hammer very, very softly. Okay, and I want to use a little bit of 1300 here. Where are you guys at? I have a question for you guys. Does any of you out there have one of those? Have you ever tried using those auto oilers? I don't have one. I've heard about them, but some people I've heard are actually not that impressed with them, and that they can actually be a bit more of a pain in the ass than anything else. So I'm just curious what you guys think about that. I cannot see. Nice. Nice. These shiny screws as well. That's another thing as well, which is like really easy to do, but it makes such a nice difference, is the screw heads. Obviously a lot of the time they can get rusted, and it's just super minor little thing which takes not long to do. So like on this, so I just used like, I think it's 1000 grit sandpaper. Just hold the screw in your tweezers upside down and just run it in a nice straight line on some 1000 grit sandpaper. You'll get that really light rust off, and it'll make your screw heads look a lot nicer. Super shiny, super clean. I mean, you can go next level as well if you want after that and like polish them up and make them like mirror finish, but all due respect, but we're not dealing with like some high-end Patek here or something like that, are we? But it's little details like that that I think are nice and important to do. Yeah, that's cool. What are you guys chatting about? Oh yeah. Yeah. I think you have to, don't you have to like I've never used them, so I think you have to like manually fill them up as well. You have to top them up, I assume. Couldn't be bothered with that, if I'm honest. So let's build up this train. I'm going to try my best to be able to do this at this dodgy angle. Oh, by the way guys, I did forget to say, that jewel, it was cracked. It was cracked. That's also been replaced as well. I've replaced that. But it was 100% cracked. And when I tapped it out, it was just in bits, so I put it in a little baggie. But yeah, it was a good spot. I can't remember who it was that said if it was what you call it, if it was cracked or not, and because I couldn't tell under the microscope with the camera because the quality is not great. But you were absolutely right. It was a cracked what you call it, a cracked jewel. Sorry, I'm just thinking here guys, there's something that needs to be done before we can do this, because I've just remembered this is that awkward movement which has the special little covers for the jewels on the other side. And if I basically try and build this train without putting these back on, it just won't work. You won't be able to do it because these actually will create like a little bit of pressure. If I put the wheels in on the other side, they're basically just going to pop too far out of the jewel hole. The pivots will just pop too far out of the jewel holes, and it won't engage. So we basically need to pop these on first. So they're also nice and clean. So what I will do is, before I put them on, I will just put a little bit of 9010 on the obviously making sure it's on the right side. So flip them over. That's the right side, that's the right side, that's the right side. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey Dayton! Welcome, man. You guys should check out his channel as well. I should watch his good channel. Yeah, it's definitely a good channel to watch. You'll learn something. I could do it the other way and drop in the oil into the pivot, but I'll do it this way. And obviously with oiling, don't forget, less is more. Less is more. This is so small to work on. Thankfully, the stone is raised. Let me put you on this one. And these are really small screws, like super small. I remember when I was trying to get them out, it was a little bit awkward. A little bit awkward, not cool. This is a very small screwdriver needed. This is probably going to be 0.6, and I'm going to actually go at this with the loop, because I want to make sure that it gets it right. Because also when I'm looking at these, I can see, I have a feeling that one of them, this one is different to the other ones. And what I mean by that is, I just mean that the hole where the screw goes in, it's not lined up. So it has to be one of the other ones. That takes it. I think this is this one. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Oh man, no pressure, no stress, no. Exactly, I should get special brownie points. I'm not saying that I'm going to do this live every time, but I'm certainly going to use this equipment for doing stripped down videos. But this is the thing, it's like, it's difficult doing it live, because at the same time I'm trying to concentrate, I'm dealing with tiny little screws. I'm also talking to you guys. And it makes things difficult, as you can imagine. So with these as well, it's best just to kind of secure them down a little bit while you're screwing it in, because they are so small. Screwdriver could be a bit bigger actually. It's actually annoying that they have these. Because they're a pain in the ass. Oh, I saw the comment from Turbo. Because most of the comments I don't see until afterwards when I'm looking back. And you were basically saying that I'd used the screwdriver down to a nub. Damn right, man. Things are expensive. But I'm happy to say that I have actually changed it now. See, this is the problem with live. I would find this boring. Why would you want to watch a guy sharpening a screwdriver? Because the head of it is too thick to get in this little screw. Why would you want to watch that? This is why I think that non-live is better. Because all of this tedious crap you're not going to get to see. Yeah, that's better. It works perfectly now. Why would you want to watch this? Be careful with using text to speech. Apparently, it was something I watched about it on YouTube. They were saying that YouTube doesn't like it or something like that. If I remember rightly, something like that. They don't like people using text to speech for some reason. I've lost a screw. Well, when I say I've lost it, I think it's on top of the movement and I just haven't spotted it yet. I need to hunt. Where did you go? Well, there you are, next to the center wheel. No, it's still not good. With this 1010, yeah, I'm quite familiar with the screws. Most of the Enicar line, the AR ones anyway, I'm quite familiar with what screws go. It's more like the chronograph. The chronograph stuff is what you need to be careful with, because you're talking about so many different screws, man, and so many different sizes as well. You know. It's a whole different ball game. But like a hand winder like this is it's obviously not as complicated. Okie dokie. Let's continue. So I could put in the escape wheel now, and that should just fit. You know. See, that's the other thing I'm hoping as well. I am really hoping, but I know I measured and I looked at the pivots on the wheels, and I think they are all the same. So what I'm saying is that I hope that all of those little cap covers are the same. Otherwise it's a big problem. And this is why it goes back to like what I said about doing it live or not. Because a lot of fluff. A lot of fluff. Okay, a little bit of 1300 just on this center wheel post. Not loads, just a little bit. I Shoot Watches has got a awesome camera setup. I'm actually a bit jealous of that. All these little auto switches and everything. But correct me if I'm wrong, he does it for a living, so that's why he has it. But it does look super sexy. Right, train wheel bridge. And then we can see if we get some motion in gear or not. So again, this is something you want to be really careful with. You guys know the drill anyway. Really careful. If you get lucky, they'll all fall into place. Most of the time they won't fall into place. And I like to basically just give it a little nudge. Wanting things to be in the pivot holes, obviously. Another thing which makes life a lot easier with this as well is doing it under a microscope, because then you can actually see above you if the pivots are lining up. And if this goes on for too long, that's exactly what I will do, because then you do it a lot quicker. Because as it stands here, it's I'm doing it with feel, and it's like yeah, it's not cool. So actually, yeah, I'm going to do this under the microscope. I think it'll be a lot easier. You guys talk amongst yourselves. And I can flip over to this one. So doing it under a microscope, it's just a hell of a lot easier. I can get down there and I can actually see if these, which they're not, I can use an oiler or I can use a tweezer just to manipulate the wheels a little bit. Because you obviously want to get them in the jewel holes before you push down and screw down this bridge. Otherwise you break them, and that's not cool. You don't want that. You don't want that at all. So just really be careful, because they're easy to break. And again, I am hoping that those little covers on the other side are, what you call it, all the same size. Okay, that's the escape wheel in, and there's one that's just not wanting to get in. Nearly there. Okay, might be in business here. Yeah, we're good. I think it's okay. One pivot to me just looks a little high, but I'm hoping, I'm thinking it's probably because it's not screwed down yet. Where are you guys? Yeah, I've also heard about this, trying to give it a little tap just to see if it helps manipulate it in. Where's my camera gone? It looks nice and free, which is great. Oh man, if this was a chronograph, we'd be here all day. Seriously. I'm happy with these screws, they look really nice and shiny. That kind of nice finish to them. Again, when you're screwing this down, like, don't screw it down like super tight until you double checked that everything is that nothing's jumped out of the holes or anything. Yeah, I mean that's really nice and free actually. I'm liking the look of this so far. I can nip up these screws now. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Like butter, exactly, my man. Exactly. Like butter. Alright, so the next thing what I will do is another thing as well, which you need to get into a habit of doing. Clean up your crap as you go along. Because it's amazing, like stuff that you can just leave just on the bench, like screwdrivers that you're not using, etc. Stakes, things. So I like to just clean things up. I like things to be nice and clean and tidy. It's better. It's more easier to manage. Okay, so I'm going to basically now remove these KIF locks so that I can oil and give them a quick clean as well. So again, I'm going to do this with lube, and I'm just going to use an old oiler just to manipulate the lock mechanism round, if I can see it. See, this is why working on a microscope is a lot easier, which again is what I am going to do. Sorry guys, you want it live, you get live. But it is easier just to do this on a microscope, because you don't want to damage anything as well at the same time. And it is absolutely imperative that I do not lose one of these, God forbid, because I don't have any more. Well, actually, I'm saying that. Oh shit, it did just jump as well, I swear to God. Oh my God, it jumped! It really did. I do have some more actually. I think I have some more anyway, but it really genuinely is just bloody jumped. I heard it jump. It's here. It's here. I have it. But it jumped. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. Bastard. Jumped. I'll use some. See, that one jumped as well. Should have used a piece of Rodico ideally for this kind of thing. Okay, I'm going to use the same principle with this as well, and I'm going to fixer drop these, but first though I'm going to just rub them off. No message intended for that. I'm going to treat them like a capstone. And just apply a bit of, I'll put them in at the same time together as well. Man, I can't believe it jumped off. Can you believe that? Ooh, no pressure. I blame it all on Dayton. I shoot watches. He was the one who put me up to this. Hey man, you should do live streams. Yeah, super fresh, super nice. Do live streams. Yeah, look how that's gone. Can you imagine? I think that's what everyone would be hoping for. A lost spring or capstone or something. Oof. Imagine live video of somebody on their hands and knees. looking for that. That would be not cool. Not cool at all. Alright, they're looking really nice and shiny and clean, so that's a really good thing. So I'm going to use little, which wheels are on? Yeah, 90-10 for both of these. Rodico, use Rodico. Yeah, I know, you're right. It's the pressure of the live stream, man. I really, seriously, I'd love to see you guys in this situation. Everyone all stalking up on me. It's a lot easier to do this off camera. I don't know, I just feel like I'm on some kind of like time limit or something, if that makes sense. I mean, I know I'm not, but at the same time, I don't want this video to go on for like 3 hours, you know what I mean? I mean, on one side, I suppose it doesn't matter, but then on the other side, I do have the supermarket man, supermarché man coming. I don't want to get my food on. Yeah, that's not. Oh no, a little bit more, please. Yes. Yes, that's good. Remember guys, less is more. Less is more. Okay. Put this one on. This is not going to be easy actually, thinking about it, that I've done it like this. It's a bit retarded. Well, it's on. I love you, HP. Thank you, man. I love you too, brother. I'm going to radical on this so this thing doesn't fly off, because I would point blank refuse, absolutely refuse to get on my hands and knees while you guys are here. That is not going to happen. No, sir. I would lie. I would just pull out another one, secret one out of my toolbox. Like, oh, this is what I made earlier. Oh, that's on. Number 2. One day we will land a kiff spring on the moon. Yeah, man, imagine that. One that just takes a major big jump. Word of advice, by the way, don't do what I just did. Don't oil it this way, actually. It would have been actually easier just to oil it the other way. Because now that I'm looking in here, I think. Because I've oiled the top of it, but I don't want to disturb the oil. But I have to turn it upside down, obviously, which is not that easy without disturbing the oil. And I don't want to do that. Not that it needs to be like a balance capstone, but still. Come on, come to me. See, this is the stuff you don't see. I just want to get to the rest of the rebuild. Don't want to be doing this. It's like those people who are like super interested in, they enjoy spring work. No, man. No, no, no. Spring work is not fun at all. It's horrible. I am not happy with how this is going. I'm going to wash this and I'm going to basically just oil it from the other side. Let me clean this off. Go in there. Clean. So I could have done this from the other side, which was a bit silly. So just completely do not listen to what I was just talking about. Hey, but at least the internet's not cut out. Which is good. Yeah, I know, right? That's what I was just thinking as well. Like, don't jinx it. No, I think it's really because it was the first one and I had not done it before. And then they had all these encoding settings. And they had it set to like a really low level. And I was thinking like, no man, I can go higher. And I actually went way too high, which was ridiculous. Way too high indeed. Come on, man. Get this last one in so that we can move on. I'm bored. I do not like these things. First one went in really easy actually, but this one is just proving to be a pain in my arse. And not like a small pain, not like one of those really like deep-rooted anal pain. Fuck. It's really been a pain in the ass. Uh-huh. Should get the tool for this. It would make life easier. Yeah, I'm not content. Okay, there we go. And then while I am on this side, I may as well put some 1300 on the center. Seeing as I'm under the scope anyway. And I will flip it over and I will do the other. Oh no, I've already done the other side, haven't I? See, it was that long ago, I've forgotten. Man, it's not normal how long that took. Okay, that's good. Okay, we are in business. Push it to the limit, yeah! Push it to the limit. Na, 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 na. You got, yeah, man, you put that song in my head now. Okay, let's continue with this rebuild. 1300 for the crown wheel. Just on the side. And a little bit, even though I put a little bit on the bottom of the arbor, just a little bit at the top where the ratchet wheel's gonna go. And a little for the click. see it on this camera. Man, I'm surprised you guys are still here. Seriously, I would have left a long time ago. But it should go a lot quicker now, actually thinking about it. So that little spacer on, and then we can put on our crown wheel with our reverse threaded screw. Ooh, the reverse threaded screw guy. Remember him? And the click, click spring, click. The click, for some reason on this one, it has a really long screw. Okay, so we need to put in the click spring, and I can't remember which way it went round, but it seems very self-explanatory. So it looks like it goes this way. Pegwood, definitely. Let me just sharpen my pegwood actually, because it's too blunt from before. Oh, another thing. I meant to mention it last time and I forgot. Let's put some nice things up. Ooh, there we go. Let's put that Enicar thing up. I forgot about that. And this as well. So I was told that you need to check these settings. So you need to check them. Yeah, make sure you check them. Something to do with that they changed the notification settings or something on YouTube. And I was told that not everybody is getting my notifications about when a video is coming on. So that's actually not cool. Not cool at all. Okay, this spring seems very self-explanatory, so I believe it is like that. And then the click, which should have a little arm inside, which it does. No, move over. So this time as well, I decided to record, because on this device that I've got, I can record as well. And I know somebody else asked me last time, what was it that I used? So I bought something called a YOLObox Pro, and I was looking into some kind of encoder about what would be best on YouTube, and I discovered this YOLObox. And seeing as I'm not like a big camera guy or super into cameras, I'm using it for a job. I'm using it for a purpose. That's my only reason for it, otherwise it wouldn't be happening. And what I liked about this YOLObox Pro is the stuff I can do with it is quite impressive, and also the fact that they are constantly updating the software for it. It actually looks pretty much like a tablet. That's what it looks like. It looks like a tablet, because you don't need a monitor for it, because the whole thing is like a monitor. I have like full touch control over it and everything, and it's really cool. I really like it. And like I said, I also really like the fact that this company is constantly updating it. So they're updating the software with new features, different features will come, etc, etc. And I think that's pretty cool. So rather than just getting like another one, even though this was a little bit more expensive, I like the fact that it's all predominantly software based. But I also like it, like I said, that the company is updating it regularly. I saw that. And a lot of people online have been saying very positive things about it. So For me, I wanted something that was user friendly. Ah man, I forgot to do this screw. Darn it. Look at that screw. Don't know if you guys can see that. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. We'll do it now. And then you can see what I mean. Because it's a 2-second job. 2-second job. And then it will look really nice. What have we got here? Here we go. So just flip it over. I'm not gonna go crazy polishing, just to get the rust off and just bring a nice even clarity to the metal. Still a little bit on there that I don't like. Not perfect, but it's okay for this watch. Yeah, it looks better. Clean it off as well with some Rodico. You don't want the shavings getting into that sexy clean 1010. No sir. Come on, papi. Come on, papi. Okay, clicks engaging. There we go. We'll ask the question. I don't know why I say Z-click, but I know I said it last time and it was just one of those things. Z-click. I have no idea, guys. Alright, so next, because I'm conscious of time here, I've already cleaned the pallets, not in the cleaning machine. You should not put them in the cleaning machine. Just do it manually. And then this will get fixer drop treatment again. And then we use 9415. And this is only on the pallets. And it's one of those oils as well that you will just have forever, even though expires January 2028. I guarantee you I will not use it all. It's impossible, because you use such a tiny amount that there's yeah, you're never going to use it all. Hey, another thing about the pallets which is important. So once you put it in the fixer drop, this is something I was obviously told as well. Blow it off. But as you know, you shouldn't oil the pallet cock jewel. You should never oil that. I think some Seikos they do, but anyway, it's not my business. But then with a little bit of wood, live wood, remove the fixer drop from the pivots just by pressing it in. It's really important because it could potentially create a little bit of friction when you've popped it into the jewel. So before I put it into the watch, even though I've just put it in fixer drop, because the only thing I need the fixer drop for is for the exit stone. That's it. I don't need it for anything else. But obviously it's impossible just to do it for that. So you put the whole thing in. But then I clean it off. And that's it. And then once I've done that, I will again just give it a little blow. Any dust from the wood. And then it's good to go. And then I can pop it into the watch. I just bashed that with my finger, which was not cool. Did I damage that? No, I don't think I Okay. This is another one of them as well where you need to make sure that you line it up in the jewel hole correctly, because if you screw it down you're going to break it and it's not going to be cool. So again, this is also something that I do and have a quick look under the microscope because it's just easier. And you can manipulate it in easy. It's only one, what you call it, one jewel. That's it. And then screw that down. And before you fully screw it, just make sure you secure it. So that's it. So you need to give it obviously a wind. So the easiest way is just to give the ratchet wheel a bit of a screw. Just to put some power into the watch. You don't have to do it all. And then check to make sure that the pallets are moving. And if you remember last time when we were stripping this down, this wasn't moving free at all, because we thought that everything was dry, and it was. So this is moving really good, so that's cool. So I will just quickly oil the pallets, and I do it 3 times. And easiest thing is 100% under a microscope for this. I think anybody who doesn't do it under a microscope has super skills. Because it is, by the way, I'm still using the oil from the lid of this, because I will never fully use the total amount. It's not possible. So you're basically just applying like a little drop of oil to the end of the exit stone, and then move the pallets back and forth 5 times, and then repeat the process 2 more times. So you're basically just making sure that the escape wheel, the teeth on the escape wheel are all getting lubricated nicely. And the fixer drop, it keeps the oil on top of the pallet and doesn't move. A little bit more actually, there's not anything on that. Okay, good to go. So, I want to see if this runs. But actually, before that, I'm going to build up the suspension. And just build the rest of the other side, which will take 2 minutes because there's really not anything here. So I'm going to use a little bit of 9504, which is a thicker grease, and I'm just going to put this on to the post where the cannon pinion is going to go. You just want a little bit. I always put a lot more on to the oiler because I do it from both sides, but I don't use all of what's on here, of course. Looks like I'm using a lot, but I'm not. And then I can put the cannon pinion on, which is friction fit, and that will just snap on. And it's a really small one as well. There you go. And you can just snap that down with your tweezers. A little bit of 1300 on the post for the minute wheel, and also for the intermediate. Do a tiny bit more. And then also I'm going to put it on now as well for where the yoke will go, which is just on there. And we can put in that fancy minute wheel. Look at that, with its completely pointless jewels. And this intermediate wheel as well. I'm just seeing if it has a beveled edge, which it does, and beveled edge should go on the bottom. Like so. And now the winding pinion and the sliding pinion, Z. And again 9504 on this. Heavy grease, which is what I'm going to do. Where am I? You don't want to go crazy, but you want a nice amount on, because obviously it's it is a high friction part with the winding stem going at it. And then that just slides in. And then the sliding pinion. And I know I've seen some people oil the end of that as well, where it connects to the winding pinion. And I don't do that because I've heavily oiled the same end which it is engaging on. I also add a little bit of 9504 just to the top of the sliding pinion as well, for where the yoke is going to touch. So just a smidge on top of that. And then I can add in the yoke and the yoke spring. And we're getting close to sorting this out, guys. Can't believe you guys are still here. I'm shocked. That's not the right way around. Also, it's important to put some oil as well where the 2 points meet of the yoke and the setting lever. And now the spring as well for the yoke. It's funny how certain things can like really speed up, you know, your workload, and then certain things will just hit you in the face, and then you're like stuck, you know, like, oh, this is going to take 10 minutes, I can't go on. So I'm going to add in some 1300 as well, just between the yoke spring and the yoke. And I'm just doing that while I've got this held down. And then move it just out so that I can get the yoke in again. There we go. There we go. And then, like I mentioned as well, a little bit of the 9504. I want to add that just between the yoke, just on the end of it, where the setting lever is there. If you add a little bit too much, it's not a big issue because you could just clean it off afterwards. So yeah, again, it's a little awkward at this angle, but it is fine. So now the spring. Oh, it's super close to finishing this off. Thanks guys for hanging around, appreciate it. Another thing with this as well, with these springs, I will use some 9504 on it before I put it in, it's easier. So just on the where it connects, so I just put a little in there because that's where it's going to rub. And then I can pop this on. And hold it under with some pegwood before I screw it down. And as long as I'm holding it, I can engage it a bit. Come on, come to Pappy. Let me put the screw in. You cannot see. I really cannot see. This is a really awkward screw actually. I'm not even convinced that this is the right one. It's got such a high top to it. Doesn't make sense. But it is. Come on, screw, go to your home. See, this is what I'm talking about. Why would anybody want to watch this? This is what I don't understand. I don't understand why anybody would want to see this kind of thing. See? Hassle, boys. Hassle. And I'm still not overly convinced that this is the correct screw for this. For a lot of stuff though under the microscope though, I really like it. Oiling, that kind of thing. You get such a good, I find that you get such a better results. And not just that, like especially when it comes to oiling, you know exactly how much you're putting in. Guys, this is not the right screw, 100%. I don't think it is. The bizarre thing is, I can't actually think what else this other screw there isn't anything else that this screw would actually be used for though, that's the weird thing. So it must be. Because everything I did check, but I don't like the way that it has a big head on it. It doesn't make sense. I'll try one more time, but I'm not convinced that this is the right screw. No, I'm not overly happy. Yeah, I thought about mixed screws, but I can't think. I mean, it's not a complicated watch, and so I cannot think where where the other screw would have come from. That's the thing. If you think about what's on it, and there's no more available screws that I have here, so I am honest. Yeah, of course I am. But yeah, I'm not convinced. I'm not happy about that. Now, on a positive note, I also have a hell of a lot of Enicar screws in my Enicar goodie box. One of my Enicar goodie boxes. It's trying to get a visualization of what that screw is, the correct one. But I know I will have one. I know roughly what it looks like. But that screw does not feel right at all. This one looks a little bit more appropriate. Let me try this one. But I'm just baffled about what this let me change the camera for you guys. What this screw is actually for there. Because guys, there's nothing else to screw down. There's the balance and that's it. Because the other thing with this screw is, I also think it's the head of it's too high. Because you've got to remember that the dial has got to sit on this watch as well. Nope. I'm not happy. I'm really not content with this screw. Not content at all. What are you guys chatting about? Looks like a screw that will hold down a bridge. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm also a little bit baffled about. Why it was there. And then this screw as well is like a bit too it's a bit too big and I don't want to force it, so I'm trying to take it out and it's caught. Rotted. Yeah. Gotta love this live stream. We get the true version of how things happen and when things go wrong, like now, for example. Put that aside. Here's this. Let's see. Oh. Still can't believe that you guys are still here. But I need a correct screw because that one is not correct. The only thing I'm wondering... No, but it can't be because they were both exactly the same. I was wondering about that first bridge that I put on, because they do use smaller screws. But then usually what you find is it's either going to work or it's not going to work. And if it's too big, you feel that it's too big. That is too small. Actually, that's not too bad. Just try with the widened stem. I just broke the cardinal rule of touching the movement with my bare hand just then. Wow, it's the real deal. Well, I mean, if you guys appreciate it, then yeah, it's cool. It is the real deal. I mean, it doesn't get more real than this. And I know a lot of those watch restoration videos, channels online, they only show what they want you to see. And I'm also like that myself because, I mean, I explained it before. I don't want to have like a 3-hour... what you call it, a 3-hour restoration video, because I think realistically, like, who's gonna watch it, especially for tedious stuff like this, because this is tedious, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, I don't understand why somebody would want to sit there and watch this kind of thing. It's boring. You know, I'm fighting over something tedious and boring. It's like, why would you want to see that? Like, for example, this setting lever that doesn't want to... I'm also not happy with this spring. I can see that it's lifted and it's not correct. Here. This is not right. Let me try and take that one off, because I swapped them over for haste, because this screw is a bit too big. It needs to be removed from this. I can't get it out now. Unless you're keen to learn, otherwise the way behind your skills and knowledge. Thank you very much. I think like anything in life, you know, it is just practice, and it also helps who teaches you or who taught you. And I think I was lucky as well. with learning a lot from my previous watchmaker. That's really where I learned most of my things. I was gonna save this for the AMA, but I may as well spill it out now to you guys on here. I learned a hell of a lot from my old watchmaker. He sadly passed away. I think it was 2 years ago now. Feels like longer. And he was awesome. And I used to harass him. And he serviced all of my watches originally. And I wanted to learn. And learn how it works. So a lot of the stuff I learned from him. Super nice guy. One of those diamond guys. Right, okay. I just need to get this. Right, that's winding really nice, but I just need to nip up this setting lever because it's been a pain in the ass and it's not setting. So, where are you? See, exactly that's what I was telling you about. If you don't do the setting lever first before you put in the other stuff in, it will fly out. But I need some grip for this. And strangely enough, this setting lever doesn't want to nip up more than what it is. See, the winding stem just wants to keep on coming out, which is very strange. I cannot remember if the winding stem was coming out prior. What is that? Oh, I see the problem. I see the problem. I can do this. I'm not doing a live stream again. I'm finding it stressful now. You guys are awesome, don't get me wrong. But I feel like I'm under investigation, if that makes sense. Okay, there we go. Winding stem is in. Put the minute wheel back on. And then we can bridge this off. Yeah. With this tiny little bridge. Man, seriously, this is what I mean. We've been going for 2 hours. 2 hours on this. And we don't even know if it's going to run yet. I think it'll run. I genuinely do. Just pretend we aren't here. Somebody wrote to me in one of the comments and said that he really liked my videos, but he felt that he could see up my nose a bit. And I was like, oh, maybe I should adjust my my camera, so to speak. And then he said something about like, no, he says, I just feel that you were a bit too aggressive in your videos. And I was like, well, isn't that kind of self-explanatory? That's the whole style that I've gone for in regards to the videos. Not the restoration videos, of course. I mean, these are different. I mean, it's not like I've thrown a chair across the room yet. But the videos, the short videos, when I'm talking about something in particular, like those videos, I do. That's the whole point of it, is that it's supposed to have this aggressive kick-off tone, and I don't think he understood it. So yeah, I mean, I value the comments and everything, but I'm not gonna change my style of doing something. That's not cool. No sir. It's not fresh, and it's not how it should be done. Okay, this is done, this is done. Wipey, wipey, cleany, clean. Alright, let's, should we see if this is gonna run then or what? No pressure, eh? Let's, we may as well see if this is gonna run or not. It's pointless putting the hour wheel on. By the way, if you look at the stem, there's a little bit of surface rust in there, and I cleaned it as best I could because I tried to take off the crown from the winding stem, but it didn't want to go. It really didn't want to go, and what worried me was that if I force this, it's going to break off, and I thought, yeah, that's not cool. So I thought, let me clean it with a fiberglass pen, which is what I did. So I cleaned it as best as I could, and there is a little bit of surface rust on that winding stem, but only right at the back near where the crown is. So it's not going to have like a, how do you say it? It's not going to affect the performance of the running of the watch, so to speak. But it was either risk breaking the stem, and then obviously it's going to be stuck in the crown. And this is a special crown. I mean, as you can see, it's not just a crappy crown. It's an Enicar waffle crown, so it's like a super compressor crown, and they're expensive. And I don't think the owner would have been too chuffed about it. You know what I mean? All right, let's see if this will run. Let's see if it runs. Let's see if we can get any decent amplitude out of it or anything like that. Let's see if I overbank it. Which looks like it might have. Yep. I don't mind putting it in, it just annoys me when you end up just overbanking it a lot. That's my only gripe. Just trying to nudge it around. I have little room to work here. I don't want to force it. That's okay, I think. There you go. Life! 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 Ah! It was at that moment when he realized all was worth it. All was happy. All the animals came out of the forest to see the balance spinning. Life. Let's give it a full wind. So what are we saying then? What are we guessing on the amplitude here? On full wind. I mean, what do you reckon? Alex is saying 197, or is that you talking about something different? Right, so that's a full wind. And it took quite a few winds as well, so that's good. That means the mainspring's good, so we're happy with that. And yeah, let's have a look. Let me just pop it over to this side because I want the crown to be near the microphone. The microphone of the timograph, or the timographer. Doesn't look too bad though. Where are you guys? Yes, amplitude 197. Okay. Well, let's have a look. Let me fire it up. Need to show you guys, so let me trying to think of the best way here. Well, let me fire it up first. I also need more room to work with. Let me turn up the gain. You're way off, mate. Absolutely way off. The amplitude is on 309, which I actually think is a little bit too much. Let me see if I can spin this camera around, or actually I'll just go mobile, because with this camera I can do that. So let me punch to 3. There you go. So beat error 1.3, but we can sort that out in a minute. Amplitude 300, rate. That's not bad, man. You know, it wasn't far off. Wow, what did Game Joy say? I would love to go on Chrono Glide's stream. I like Gal Slab. He's a funny guy. He's not that far from me as well. I could just drive up, but I'm not going to ask myself. That would look super not weird. That would look super weird and super not fresh. All right, let me put this camera back and what you call it? Boom, boom, boom. Let me just quickly give this a little adjustment. Even though I will adjust it again later, but I just want to get that beat error out. So if I can get that beat error out, 1.3 is not that much, but still. Let's get it looking pretty perfect. The other thing with the timographer as well, I find it quicker if you just turn it off and then turn it back on again once you've made adjustments. Okay, so beat error now is, which is bringing the amplitude more into a better alignment that I like. So now I've got beat error of 0.1, rate is plus 37 seconds, which I will turn down just a little bit. Ideally, guys, it's better to regulate something like 1 or 2 days after you've serviced the watch. I'm only doing this for you guys. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother. I mean, because when you looked at those levels, we never did anything, and we saw the beat error is 1.3. Yeah, it's nothing. I mean, we haven't adjusted anything, you know. But to see the trace, though, is what I'm referring to. You know, when you saw the trace on the timographer, it looked good, you know what I mean? Like, there wasn't like big dirt lines or anything. Very nice straight lines is what you want to see. But from a regulation standpoint, when regulating it, like, yeah, do it like the day after or two days after. Let the oils all sink in and everything. But I've regulated it now, and I see that we've got 0.2 beat error, amplitude 290, and it's running at 20 seconds fast. Also with a hand winder as well, I like to have it running at least around 20 seconds fast a day, because as the spring starts to unwind itself, you don't want the watch to start running slow. So I think it's my personal opinion, I think it's better to have the watch running just that little bit quicker. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the watch over. I'm getting really conscious of the time as well, because my Supermarché man will come. I actually don't exactly know what time that guy's going to come. I think it's between 8 and 10. So, without further ado, let's finish this juicy watch. So, a little bit of 1300 just on the edge of the cannon pinion for where the hour wheel will slide on. There's no complications on this watch. There's no date, there's no nothing. So basically the watch is rebuilt. You can all go home now. No, I will case it up. Come on. Yeah, just put the dial washer on. And then we can put the dial on and put the hands. And make it look super fresh and super nice. Yeah, he's Dutch. So it's the accent. Psycho watches. What's a psycho watch? Psycho. Yeah, funny. Oh, this dial. And you know what? I'm not doing anything to this dial. I'm not even touching it. Because it just looks so nice with this brown kind of like tinge that it's got on it. I think it's just so cool just to leave it as it is. And with a new crystal, it'll look cool. Why am I feeling that that is a bit of resistance? Am I just tripping out? Remember when we took this apart and there was that weird gluey kind of thing? I think it's just because I haven't screwed it down yet, but yeah, it just felt a little bit weird. I'm used to dials when they just go on and you just feel them just sink flush, you know? But with this, I just felt like it just felt like a bit raised. And when I look at it, yeah, I'm not... I mean, it is right, I assume, but it just looks a bit strange. Like it's not level. Try this. I really like this dial though. I think it looks really nice. Really cute. Okay, I think we're good. So the hands, let's put on these juicy paddle hands as well. Usually these hands that you find just on the Sherpa graphs, the earlier ones, some of the other models as well. So first we will pop on the hour one. You can put it on wherever you want because there's no date, so anywhere will do. And then I will use my press tool for this. And that feels like it's too low. Something is amiss. This dial is, I'm not happy with this dial. Something is amiss here. Let me remove this hand. Now that's the thing as well, like with working on watches, it either just feels right or it doesn't feel right. Like that screw, you know, when I was talking about that screw, and it's the same. It's the same with that that screw earlier on. It just didn't feel right. Now this doesn't feel right. Just doesn't feel correct. When I'm looking at the dial, I'm not happy with how it's sitting on the watch. It doesn't feel, it just doesn't feel right. Like one side feels like it's a bit bigger than the other side, which is a bit strange because why is it just not sitting? But I was going to say, remember that weird glue thing that we saw, and I'm wondering if somebody had done that deliberately to balance off this dial, which then makes you think, did this dial come on this watch originally? And I can see the evidence of where that was. So it's, yeah, it's weird. Because if I put the dial on now, I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to eyeball it and then screw down one of the dial feet screws. I'm kind of just playing this by ear because it feels like it doesn't fit flush. It's very strange. And then I felt it when I was moving that hand. That might be better. Right, I'll try again with this hour hand. Not push it down as deep this time. I think I went far too deep. That's what she said. Try that. Yeah, that feels better. Yeah, feels good. Yeah, it's just a weird one. It just doesn't feel like it's super happy on the main plate. Bit of a weird one. I'm just hoping that this minute hand goes on okay, and that I don't have to push down this hour hand any more than what I already have. I have a feeling I probably will. In fact, I already know I will, looking at that. Just don't want to go too deep. It might be alright. This dial is lovely, man. It's almost got this like browny, loomy kind of color on it, which is like almost looks a little bit militant, like an army kind of desert color. Okay, I think we're good. No hands are touching. I spoke far too bloody soon. Now it's just hit. Bastard. It's the worst. I hate when hands touch. No, we're touching again, and I'm not sure why. I think the hand needs to be... The hand looks a little bit off in shape. So that's what I mean, when you see it on the other videos, they just stick the hand on and it's like, yeah, the hand is on, there you go, it's done. And it's like, it's not always like that, man. Especially on older watches. Because I can see exactly what the issue is here. If I can nip that just up a little. The loom on the bottom is a little bit thicker, so it means that, yeah, I would have to sand that off. I can see that, and that's what it is. That's just touching. It's just touching on it, just a smidge. On the hour hand. Well, the other alternative is that I can just lower the hour hand just a little bit more, which is probably what I'm going to do, because I don't want to mess around with that loom if I don't have to. So I have to take off the minute hand, and they're probably both going to come off, but ideally it'd be nice if I can just get off the minute one. Which I have successfully. Right. Put that to one side. I'm just going to go for a little bit more of a push on this down. And that might give me enough clearance for that little loom underneath, I'm hoping. Welcome to real watches, guys. Real watches. Okay, that's done the job. Man, I bloody jinxed it again, can you believe it? Absolutely just jinxed it. No. The hour hand is basically just a little bit off, so it needs to be a little bit higher than what it actually is. So it needs to be straightened. this up to 12. With my staking block, I was told you can straighten these off with a little bit of pressure. I want to go the other way. Just trying to create that little bit of, yeah, because the entire hand points down a bit. It's too much. They're quite thick, these hands, if I'm honest. I mean, they're still obviously very delicate, but they are quite thick. Right, okay, I think we're in business now. Yeah. No touching of the hands anymore, which is good. And then the last thing we can do is put on the what you call it, the second sound, which is exactly where, here it is. Okay. Guys, seriously, how are you not bored? I'm conscious that is the second hand going to touch it or not. Yeah, I think that will touch. Oh no, it didn't. Oh, that's good. Okay. So this case this up, and then I think we are good to go. I'm starving. After this, man, you know, you mentioned that. It was a few weeks ago I decided to watch Predator again. It's been a long time since I've seen it. It was super fresh and super nice. Still an amazing film. Quick, get to the chopper. Okay, get this winding stem out. If I can find the damn screw. Check it out. Just want to nip that in there, hold it for now. Come on. How did this come out? This is bafflingly strange. I'm trying to unscrew the setting lever and it's just going nope. I want to take the crown out and it's just basically going I don't think so. Like seriously guys, this will not unscrew. This somehow be supposed to. Come on! Got you. Man, I want to watch a movie too and I want to eat. I'm starving. You are not the only one, you're not alone. Seriously. I don't like live. Not feeling it. I know exactly who I'm going to talk to after this video. And the person I'm going to talk to, if he's still watching, he knows exactly who I'm going to talk to. Because I am... yeah, I'm just... I don't know if live is the best thing, man. I mean, how long, what are we like, 2 hours, two and a half hours into this. I mean, okay, we had some things that we needed to take care of. But still, you know what I mean? Oh, before I forget, crystal first, because it will need to support the dial. So I already measured this, so 30mm should be enough for this, and it's already got a tension ring inside as well, which is super nice. So I'm going to just snap that on. And I might get away with the press. Oh, okay, it's gone. I don't need a press. Cool. Does have a crystal ring as well, but I will put that on afterwards. I'm not going to do that now. Some heavy blowing. I hope this crystal is high enough. It's not gonna touch the what you call it. Not a fan of these. Actually, I think it's gonna be better just to do this while it's out of the watch. These movement holders, I'm not a fan of them. they're a little bit irritating because they actually just grip. They don't actually grip to the movement at all. They just grip to this case, sorry, to this movement holder. And then what I find is, when I put it in the watch, there was another one I was working on not that long ago, and it was also a pain in the arse. Kept flopping around. I found it easier just to screw it in prior to popping it in. It's not the best angle for this at all. Just do it like that. That's one. No, I'm glad. I'm surprised that people are still here. I wouldn't have been. Screw that. But it means that I must be doing something right. Which is nice. Nice to know. Thanks, guys. Super fresh. Okay, can I snap this in? There you go. Is it gonna touch that crystal? No, no way. It's too high. Okay, now that the winding stem, I only ever do this at the end, so a little bit of 9504 on the stem. Pop that on before that goes back into the watch. Of course, it doesn't want to go in, so it's probably not fully straight. Really don't like. There's another one that I worked on a while ago, and it was just, oh man, it was an absolute pain in the arse. An Enicar. It really was a pain in the arse. Similar to this one. The movement was fine going through the motions, but casing it up was just a pain in the arse. Like now, for example. Like, why are you being difficult? The movement holder is just a little bit off. Oops. Luckily that's only on there. Okay, what am I missing? Oh man, I want a beer. That's what I want. I want a beer. I feel like I'm missing something. Because I can't get the stem in. I feel like I am... No, I feel like I'm missing something. Let me just snap these a little bit. This feels like it should be lower. Let's move this around a bit. Maybe lubricant on the friction surfaces of the watch. No, I'm not sure. It's like it just. I had this before on one of these, and it feels like it's just too. Well, everything is fine, and we know it fits. Just felt like the stem was not in the correct place at all for it to go on, which is not cool. Sitting too, like the movement was sitting too low. And I have no idea why it should sit too low. But I'm really not a fan of these type of movement holders either. I find them cheap. I'll try to angle it in. From a different angle into the watch. But there's literally nothing to grip hold of, oh, that's the problem. This is under the dial, not on the dial. I might be in business now, it felt better. Yeah. Oh, am I? Actually, no, we're good. I think we're good. Feels better. But this is what I mean about these type of movement holders. They're just loose, you know, and that's what I don't like about them. They are literally just loose in the case. Now I feel like I need to screw the setting lever a bit more as well, which I don't want to do because I'm worried that I'm going to unscrew it too much. No, there we go. Hopefully that's going to take. Yeah, it's a good sign. Yeah, it's good. It's good! Whoa. Oh, it needs a gasket as well. I want to eat. I want to eat. $30. I would, at a guess, I would say 30 mil. At a guess. Yeah, 31. Let's try 30.5. I haven't lubricated it yet because I just want to get a rough idea. Sometimes I find that even measuring these and then they still don't damn fit. See, this one is too big. I got these second hand and sometimes I wonder, when I say second hand I mean old. Sometimes I wonder if the person who had them just mixed them up, because I've had this a lot now with the measurement that it says it is. And it's actually not, it's like way too big. I don't even know if I have one small enough for this. So that was 30 and a half. This one I think is going to be far too small. Yeah, I think it's going to be something I have to do later, guys, because I know I don't have any of that size. But it's not a big deal, it's only a gasket, it's something that I can add later on. So that's cool. So I will just put the case back on, and then I just need to put on that, what you call it, the little crystal ring. And the full-on regulation, obviously, as you know, it's going to come later on. This doesn't have, does it have an actual area for the, sometimes they have a little marked area for the crown. I'm not seeing one. Oh, no, there is. Because this needs to go on as well. Lost it now. I'm sure I saw a place for the crown. Like a little dimple. Yes, I was imagining it. The amount of gunk that was underneath this as well was a lot. I need a press for that. So much gunk. Too big. Oh, it might be good actually. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that's okay. I just don't want it to hit the crystal. I pulled the crown out as well. Oh, I think it's just done already. Yeah. There it is. Okay, go home. Bye. Oh. Yes, it's running, and it's not just running, it's running well. That's the difference as well. We saw it. Let's put it on the timer graph before I go. Can't believe that we've been running for 2 hours and 45 minutes, guys. That's absolutely ridiculous. What time is it now? 19:47 Dutch time. 19:45:47. Yeah. Let's put it on the timergrapher. The timergrapher. The timergrapher, guys. Just gonna check the timergrapher and then I'm gonna call it a day. So let's spin this around. So amplitude is quite high. Surprised actually, a little higher than I want. But I'll regulate. Look at this. There's no beat error at all, which is super nice. So I'm super happy about that. So all in all, I'm happy. I will regulate it in a couple of days anyway. Make sure that it's all finalized. Thanks everybody who stuck with this for the live stream. I didn't think it was going to go on as this long, but there you go, and that's how you know how it works now. Not everything is going to just take an hour. In a normal situation, it's not possible. You have to do certain things, and there was some little hiccups along the way, obviously, that we saw. So I super appreciate everybody that's stuck with it. Thanks, guys. Thanks, GameJoy Nick. Thanks, Walter. And maybe I will do another live stream. I don't know yet. I will need to think about it, but I will definitely be using this equipment that I've got now for making other videos, of course, because it's super nice. But I'm happy with how the watches finally turned out, because the, yeah, very nice trace, very straight line, which is super fresh. Okay guys, until next time,